Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Wind Lacquer. In today's video, we are doing another haul, and this time we are doing it from Hella Handmade Creations, all the way back from a purchase I made in May. So this one has been sitting around for a few months. I'm finally getting around to unboxing it and swatching it. That month I did get quite a few scented products, so we're going to go over those at the beginning, and then we're going to go over the polish that I got. I actually got 7 polishes, so this was one of the bigger orders that I placed for Hella Handmade Creations. I have been doing a lot better. I will say for this one, I think there are a few that I may have been able to talk myself out of, spoiler alert. So as I go, as I've been trying to do for these haul videos, is I will be letting you guys know if any of these are regret purchases, if they are things that I think I could have talked myself out of if I were to redo the purchase today. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first item that we're going to look at is a BCB lacquer oil, and this one is actually in a little spray container. The fragrance on this is Emotions Are Dangerous, and it has scent notes of bergamot, sandalwood, wild lavender, subtle florals, and soothing musk. So this is one that I am hoping I will like. If you've been watching some of my videos on scent, I did one for Dossier just here recently. Florals are one of those scent notes that I'm a bit picky on. I like them mixed in with things, but there are plenty of times where a floral note in something can completely ruin a scent for me. So I'm just not much of a floral person, so I'm hoping that the subtle florals listed are indeed subtle. So let's go ahead and see how this smells. What am I smelling right away? So as you can see, it comes in a nice little spray bottle. And actually, it sprays a pretty decent amount all at once. Okay, so far I think I'm smelling like a lavender. Yeah, there's almost like a soapy quality to this. Oh, nope, it does say specifically wild lavender. So I'm not sure what other florals are in there. I think just that one spray was enough for an entire hand, if not almost my second hand. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely smelling the lavender. I am getting that deeper quality, which is probably from the sandalwood, and maybe that deep musk quality. But yeah, overall, I would say from my nose anyways, at this given moment, mostly what I'm smelling is the wild lavender. So not my favorite. At the same time, this might be a really good one to use right before bed, since lavender is supposed to be a calming fragrance and maybe help you fall asleep. So this will probably go bedside, and I will try to use it for that purpose. So that was Emotions Are Dangerous, which is a BCB lacquer cuticle oil spray. Oh, and apologies about the chipped nails. I really need to redo them, but I actually really love this color. That is Glam Polish's Yes Sir Captain Tight Pants. Okay. Moving on to the wax, I got the wax melts from Ribbits Stickets, and this is in the scent Fire Swamp. This was a continuation of the Princess Bride collection or line that they were doing, and this one has scent notes of warm toasted marshmallows blended together with smoldering woods, spice, subtle citrus, and pine notes, and rich vanilla cream. So this sounds incredible. I love spice and wood notes. Those are two of my favorite things to smell in things, especially when you mix them in with sweet things like vanilla and marshmallow. So I'm super excited about this one. Oh yeah, this one is delicious. So the wax on this is just kind of like a light pumpkin latte color almost. No glitter or shimmer, but you guys, this smells fabulous. So this, I am definitely smelling the marshmallow and vanilla. A little bit light so far on the spice notes, but they're definitely in there. I might be smelling like a little bit of a, not quite crispness, but maybe a freshness that the citrus is adding. And so far I'm not really smelling the pine, but that is listed further down. So it's possible that once this wax is warmed, I'll get more of those notes, but this smells delicious. And I did get this also in the acetone additive. So we're going to look at that one next, but this one was Ribbits Stickets Wax Melts in Fire Swamp. And we're going to go right to the acetone additive. If you are unfamiliar with what this is, you basically put this in your bottle of pure acetone to give it a moisturizing effect. So when you remove your nail polish, you don't completely dry out your nail beds and your nails. I have been using this for a number of years now, basically ever since I discovered it through, I think, Polish Pickup. And it has definitely been a game changer because I almost feel like I don't need to use the cuticle oils as much. I know that is something that I do need to work on, is to continue to use the cuticle oils, but usually the reason that I had been needing cuticle oils or feeling like I needed to moisturize afterwards was because when you use just pure acetone without acetone additive, it really dries out your nails. And at least for me personally, in my experience, I've tried other non-acetone polish removers and they just don't work as well for me. Or you're sitting there scrubbing your nails for like 10 minutes, which I don't like because then it really hurts my nail beds. Like my nail beds are actually sore after that. So I usually stick to just pure acetone, but when you add an acetone additive to it, it really changes the game because you are moisturizing as you are removing. So it's been a game changer. I use them all the time, and this is again in the scent Fire Swamp. So really excited to have that in an acetone additive. Yeah, that just smells delicious. So it comes in a little dropper, which I actually don't really use. Most of the time with these, I will pop this little cap off and then just pour the concoction into my acetone. If you're going to be splitting this up though in a couple of bottles, because this is a 15 ml, make sure you shake it up really nicely beforehand. That way you get all of those oils to mix up there with the fragrances, and then you can pour however much you want into your acetone. But that was Ribbit's Stickits Acetone Additive in Fire Swamp. All right, and then the last scented item that I got is from Heather's Hues. This is their Wits Lotion, and this one is scented in Black Ice. Now, to be perfectly honest, I have no idea why I got this. Because it smells like black ice. I mean, this is definitely a masculine fragrance. I don't know if it mentions the fragrance notes anywhere specifically, but black ice was a pretty popular fragrance back in the day. And yeah, I don't know why I got this, to be perfectly frank. When I unboxed this package, like I said, it's been sitting around since May, or maybe by the time they shipped it, June, but I was like, I don't really recall buying it. And yeah, it is a masculine fragrance. Like I can't even pinpoint the notes that I'm smelling in this, but it's a manly smell. So again, I'm not really sure why I got it. It's very possible that I was just really wanting to try Wits Lotion. I keep hearing about them over and over again. Everyone really loves the formulation, so it's possible that I just grabbed one and wasn't really paying attention to the fragrance. I honestly don't know. In any case, let's go ahead and see how the consistency is. Yeah, so it's a thicker lotion. And I believe the Wits is What Is This Sorcery, because it is so nicely formulated. I'm going to put this on my other hand. Wow. So that really just soaks right into the skin. It still smells like I've I don't know, washed with my husband's body wash or something. So yeah, again, I'm not really sure why I decided to go with that fragrance, but in any case, that was Heather's Hues Wits Lotion in Black Ice. All right, now moving on to the nail polishes. The first one that I got is from Naps and Nails, and this one is called Solidity. And this one is actually a magnetic. So this is a beautiful berry-toned multi-chrome. You can see some blues and purples popping up on screen, as well as some flakies. And then when you put the magnet on top of it, it pulls the multi-chrome pigment into that line, so you get all of those purples, blues, and magentas pulled up into the magnetic line, and you're left with this almost blackened purple base and all of those flakies. And here it is on the nail. This one I did in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Now this has been sitting for a few days, so the magnetic pull on this has sort of dispersed back around the nail, but this one has a beautiful deep color to it. I'm really liking that magenta pull in the magnetic line, which on camera is actually coming off as a mix of purple and blue, but you get a lot of those flakies. Yeah, this one's beautiful. So that first polish was Naps and Nails Solidity. Next up is one from Linby Designs. This one is called Go Big or Go Gnome, and this is a color combination that I get quite frequently. I love my purples, and when you mix them with blues, they just speak to me. This one is really gorgeous. This one also has a wonderful mix of components. You have a holographic component as well as a flaky, and it just ends up looking so glistening on the nail. I would almost say that there was a reflective component because of how twinkly this is, but I don't think it has a reflective component. It's just the hollow and those flakies, creating this almost like wet, glossy, sparkly look to this. It is stunning. And here is this one in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Yeah, look at that. That is so beautiful. You can see the hollow adding beautiful rainbows. You've got those blue flakies adding a wonderful glow. This one I will say is somewhere between a 2 and 3 coater. As you can see, you can definitely see my nail through it. But again, with these clear swatch sticks, I do end up with a lot of backlight coming back up on the nail. Whereas when you wear this on your own nail without a dark color under it, you might be fine with just the 2 coats and not really have that big of a problem. Although I suppose if you do have a really visible or noticeable free edge, you might need a 3rd coat, or you could perhaps wear this over an undie. But I love the flakies and the hollow. And yeah, this one just ends up looking glistening and sparkly on the nail. Very beautiful. So that second polish was Lynn B Designs Go Big or Go Gnome. Next up, we have one from Swamp Gloss. This one is called Herogasm, and this is a really interesting and very unique polish to my collection. This has sort of this blurply, almost denim base, and it is a jelly. Then you have these yellow glitters and iridescent flakies. And I don't remember if this one is supposed to be a thermal or not. I don't think so, but this one does maintain a squish factor, but the color combination is still really unique. This is it in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And yeah, just super, super unique to my collection. Although I will say this one is potentially one that I could have talked myself out of because I'm not a huge yellow fan. And I can, in retrospect, say that I might not exactly wear this all that much, but again, very unique. That's probably what caught my attention to begin with. And I mean, as you can see, you get a lot of those glitters out. What I like is that there's a couple of different sizes of them. You get a lot of the small ones there, and then a scattering of the larger glitters across the nail. And then of course, all of those beautiful iridescent flakies. And the base color on this is gorgeous. Again, sort of that denim-y blurple color, very pretty. But I do think I could have talked myself out of this if I were to redo the purchase today. So that one was from Swamp Gloss, and that was Herogasm. And we're going to put that as our first, probably could have talked myself out of it, polish. Next up, we have one from BCB Lacquer, and this one is Azarath Metreon Zinthos. I'm not actually sure about that, but this is another purple, and I mean, look at the beautiful flasher on the edges. This one has sort of a magenta to gold to orange shift in it, plus it has holographic flakies. This is another one that is a stunning shifter, although on the nail, I'm not really seeing some of those pink flashes. This is it in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. I will say as I was applying it, it was getting a little uneven, but that could have just been my application. What I like about this though is it does have a beautiful sort of glow on the nail. On camera, it's coming off as a vibrant blue. In person, it's more of a purple. So again, it should have some beautiful shifts depending on the light source that you are viewing it in. But again, as I've mentioned so many times on my channel, those holographic flakies are one of my favorite things to see in polish, and you definitely get a nice wash of them across the nail in this one. Although again, I will say this is probably one that I could have talked myself out of if I were to redo the purchase today. I mean, it's not that it isn't a beautiful polish, it's just, I don't know if I have something close enough to this in my collection already to justify having it. So I think we're going to put this one in the I could have talked myself out of it category as well. That one was BCB Lacquer's Azarath Metreon Zinthos. Next up, we have one from Luna Lacquer, and this one is called Mordor, and this is another magnetic. So in the bottle, it's really hard to describe. In fact, on camera, I think you're seeing a mix of colors as I am in person. It has this kind of charcoal base, but there are pinks and reds that you're seeing. You've got a little flaky in there as well that's flashing in a blue. Then there's a green shift in one of the particles. There's a gold shift as well. And then when you apply the magnet, you're left with this bluer base actually, and you're seeing more of those blue flakies, and then the red particles that shift to gold are pulled up into the magnetic line. And look at that, you got this vibrant gold at that corner. You've got almost this purple at the edges, which I don't know if that's coming off on camera, but there are so many colors in this one. Here it is on the nail in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And again, these have been sitting around since I swatched them for at least a few days, if not over a week. So the magnetic pull has definitely had time to sort of redisperse back on the nail, but you still get a lot of colors on this. I will say this one is one of the shearer formulas again, so if you have a prominent visible nail line, you might want to put this over a dark base coat or just see how it is on your nail. Again, these are done on clear swatches, and I am noticing that when I wear them on my natural nails, I don't always need as many coats as I needed to swatch them. But look at those colors. That blue aqua that you're seeing in those flakies is stunning. Plus you can see that magnetic red dance on the nail, and in person I'm seeing it as an orange and gold, and then those blue flakies that you're seeing as a glow in person are adding this like icy glossy look to the nail. It is really beautiful. This one is definitely not a regret. This is too unique and too interesting a polish. It has so many colors going on. This one I'm very happy I ended up grabbing. So that one was Luna Lacquer's Mordor. All right, two more. The next one we have is from Victorian Varnish, and this is Anti-Time Tablets. And this one is another really incredible, unique polish. The base of this is kind of like a mix between a turquoise and a duck egg blue. You have a multi-chromatic shift that you can see in a shimmer, plus multi-chromatic flakies. And there's a scattering of hollow glitter in here. This has a lot going on, and it is so stunning. I love the mix of colors. You've got some bigger flakies there that you're seeing as a flash of magenta, but in person they go to a deeper color like fall tones. And in that shimmer, there is gold, green, and red. Plus, of course, the vibrant pink and orange. There's so many different colors, but you can see a bit of that green popping up there on the edge of the bottle. And here's how it looks on the nail in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Yeah, this is one of those formulations that I really love in polish. I love flakies mixed in with a crelly formula. You end up with this beautiful look on the nail. I will say that the flakies are more prominent on the nail than that shimmer is, but I'm very curious to see this one out in daylight because I get the feeling that that shimmer is going to add a beautiful glow, like right there that you're seeing, out in sunlight. And the base color of this is really gorgeous. It is that creamy turquoise duck egg blue color. Absolutely gorgeous. This one is not a regret either. This is dazzling. So that one was Victorian Varnish Anti-Time Tablets, and their polish came with a sticker, as it always does. So each polish comes with a very cute little custom sticker with the polish name, the brand, and where it came from. Very cute. And then the last polish that I got before we get to our freebie for the month is from Phoenix Nail Lacquer, and this one is called Symphony. Now this one, because it was sitting for so long, really did an interesting separation. That I think is the base color, and then this is all of that shimmer that has settled to one side of the bottle. And yes, I did try to shake this one up a number of times before I swatched it, after I swatched it, while I was swatching it. But yeah, it is still maintaining this very interesting gradation there in the bottle. But here's how it looks on the nail. That orange is not quite as orange. It leans more like an orange leaning brown once it's swatched. This is it in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. What was so interesting about this polish is the mix of that unusual color base with the shimmer component. You have this very strong green to blue to purple. I want to say there might even be more color shifts than that, but this is another one that is very unique. I would say, even though I think you can still see a little bit of my nail through this swatch, I think most people would be just fine with 2 to 3 coats on their own nails. But if you were worried about it, you could always put this over a matching cream, a brown, or even an orange. But yeah, this one is really, really unusual. If I'd unpacked this earlier, I could have worn this for fall, but this one is not a regret. That last polish was Phoenix Indie Polish Symphony. And then just the last item to briefly go over was the freebie for the month. So for Hella Handmade Creations, or HHC, every month if you surpass a certain dollar amount, I think it's like $75, you do get the freebie of the month. Oftentimes it's like a top coat or a cuticle oil or a base coat or something like that. And this time it was the Hula Moons Cowabunga Treatment for Nails. So I'm not actually sure what that is. I'll have to look online and see if I can't figure out if that's like a type of base coat or if it is a protective something or a treatment. I'm not too sure, because it does say treatment, but I'm not sure how to use it. We'll have to see if I can't figure that out. But that was Hula Moon's Cowabunga. And there we have it. That was my haul for HHC for the month of May. If you ordered anything from this month, let me know down below. Also, which ones were your favorites of the haul? As I mentioned, we did have 2 that ended up being in my regret category, actually 3 items if we count the Wits lotion from Heather's Hues. Now again, there was nothing against the formulation at all. It was mainly just, why did I pick that scent? It was one to try. I'm just not too sure about that. But hopefully you had a good time. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in that next one.